Alright, and we're live. Hello everyone, good evening and a warm welcome to all at MUFC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin and I have the OG gang with me. I have Abhijit Bhai and Sandeep Bhai with me in the stream today. Hello gentlemen, good evening, all doing well, and I think genuine cause for optimism, genuine cause of happiness as well. Another 3 points in the bag, and while we are still cautiously optimistic about not getting drawn into the premature talks of being in the title challenge, I think it is the noise that is there all around that we are in a title challenge. However, how much ever we do not want to admit this. Sandeep bhai, let's start. Let's talk about the game a little. United facing an informed Leicester, who seemed to turn a corner a bit because even though they were losing games initially, it wasn't like they could not score goals. They were more than able to score goals, and then in the last three games, they entered this game having scored 11 goals. So it was a prolific attack. They got Maddison back from injury. Harvey Barnes was looking his own self. It was a pretty tough test. We came out with flying colours. What were your initial thoughts about the performances by the team? Considering the fact that we had a few key players rested, obviously with one eye on the much important Barca game on Thursday. So there were a few key personnel who were put to rest. So what did you make of the performance, and what were your thoughts and initial glances after the match yesterday?
It was a story of two halves. One single change at halftime, but four different, he just changed the front four. That was a genius by Ten Hag tactically. And it's so refreshing to see, because see, that's the way the season is going. We might end up second, we might end up third, but it never felt this comfortable when we were second under Ole or second under Jose Mourinho. It never felt this confident. So I'm just saying that we are the best thing about what we are witnessing is the mixture, the blending of Ten Hag philosophy with the United philosophy, let's say. So that is, I think, the one of the most beautiful things that is being seen on the pitch. The players are playing for the team, and the second half was amazing. One of our best performances we have put in the field since Ten Hag has come in, and it was brilliant, a brilliant show put up by the team. First half, David De Gea was massive. He doesn't stop those two goals. We are trailing 2-0 at home, and we are again back to Leeds match or something like that. David De Gea, yeah, there were three chances, you can say. So David De Gea was massive, I think, to the keeping it a clean sheet till Marcus Rashford put us forward. And I think Leicester had a breakdown of mentality that it just isn't going our way. De Gea had no right as to save those goals, and it was massive by De Gea. And when Marcus Rashford put us forward with that sexy Bruno pass, that was just brilliant. I thought he was going to square it to Garnacho, but he is in red hot form now, and he is not missing anything. He is only seeing the back of the net when he's in front of the goal. So I think it was an amazing performance by Bruno, and it was amazing performance by even Lindelof. I would appreciate Lindelof very much during the match because he's a great deputy to have. So it was an overall team performance. Weghorst didn't get his goal, but he worked like the horse he is. So it was a brilliant performance, and second half was tactical genius by Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, rightly said. So you said it was a game of two halves, and rightly so. So Abhijit bhai, let's break down the game in the halves that Sandeep bhai spoke about. So in the first half, we started out pretty well. For the first 5 minutes, we had the ball. There was zip in the passes. We were trying to penetrate, although we did not work the Leicester keeper so much. Leicester couldn't find a foothold into the game. They were not able to get the ball, or they could not even string two passes together in that phase of the first 5 minutes. But then from that period onwards till the 20 or 21st minute, it seemed like there was a gradual shift in momentum, and Leicester were all over us. And you could say that they were unfortunate to not score, but David De Gea was very big on those occasions where he had to make those saves. It was like Leicester, every time Leicester had the ball on their wings, be it Maddison, be it Harvey Barnes, or be it Tete on the right hand side, they were getting a lot of space to run into. and for some reason the United defense was not able to, come to grips with their movement and their quickness on the ball. So what did you make of that phase of play where we were totally like we couldn't get a sniff of the ball, and we were literally hanging on strings for much of that duration?
Uh, okay, what Sandeep Bhai said was overall, but I will start from the first half. So when we started the game, this were pressing very high, really marking every player from the Manchester United player, and we didn't have the counter press. So even if that link up was not going on, but we tried our chances, but it was not at up to the mark what intensity was required, what we played in most of the season. But Leicester, they have the tenacity that they at the first half they actually play with the minds. What they played against the Tottenham, they actually score the goals. So they actually overcome that in the mind that they will come and you have to but take the opposition team comes in a defense, and the same tactics was applied for us. What Tottenham faced in their in that match, same that tactics were implemented. They they were taking the advantage of Casemiro not present in the team, and not even Varane. So they knew that these two are the loopholes, and Sabitzer is not good at backtracking, or even Lindelof is not that much good backtracking. So they were taking the two advantage, and that's why you see Javi Barnes and Tete, they were coming inside and shooting taking up the chances. So this but at after this when United realized that these two things that are backfiring us, they actually totally improvised in their attacks, and they took that advantage. And after the first half, they started to took the they spread out wide instead of coming inside. If you see the 10 tactics, they actually used to go 2-3-2-2 actually like this. But after that, they took it 3-2-3 and up to the attack. So they changed the tactics, and that worked, and the rest was our game. So
So
you change the tactics, you get the result. That was the tactics I just
yeah,
observed in there.
yeah, it's pretty obvious the way you say. I mean, you have to be proactive in terms of changing your tactics, or you change the shape as and when you see that you're lagging behind in the game in terms of how the match is progressing. It's a minute by minute lookout. So when the goal came, obviously through Marcus Rashford, Sandeep bhai, do you think that that goal at that instance came against the run of play? And do you think that that goal was did basically deflate Leicester up to a certain inch? I mean, they did not stop attacking in the first half. They did keep on coming. But do you think that the intensity of those attacks dropped after getting hit by literally a sucker punch? It was perhaps maybe the first genuine attacking sequence that United had put forward in that first half up until that point, and it came from a bit of very good counter pressing also. It was a pretty poor pass by Wout Fass to begin with, but then with Sabitzer coming in, and then with the outrageous pass by Bruno from the outside of the foot, surely you cannot keep that much of a gap for Rashford to run in, because he's lightning quick, irrespective of whether he's suffering from a confidence issue or no. You cannot give a player who is blessed with that much pace so much amount of room to run at your keeper exposed. Danny Ward was literally exposed in that sequence, and I think Harry Sutar it was. Yeah, Harry Sutar was playing him onside by miles. It was not even a close. It was not even a close onside or an offside decision. It was miles
Wasn't even
onside.
VAR.
Well, exactly. That's the problem. I mean, do you think that that goal that we scored was against the run of play? And do you think that it was a pretty lackadaisical defending by Leicester on that part? Because they definitely come into this game knowing that Marcus Rashford is on a tear at the moment, and you give him even a little bit of space, he'll make you pay. So, do you think that these two factors are somehow true? Because I've been seeing a lot on Twitter that some of them did believe that United's goal, the first goal, the opening goal, was against the run of play, and I partly agree to that. But yeah, I partly agree to the fact that the goal was against the run of play. But then you have to make that chance. It comes down to no all and all. So, what are your thoughts on the first goal? And what were your thoughts around defending around the first goal?
So what I would say is, even the I think commentators, I think Jim Beglin was there. He was saying that it was against the run of play, and as you said, I would partially agree because Leicester were creating chance after chance. I mean, they were prolific in front of goal because they were doing nifty passes. And what was the main thing? They were winning the 50%, the half duels and everything. They were winning each and every one of them. So it was maybe against a little bit of run of play, but you cannot write off this United team because see, when the defense fails, the last line of defense is Dahaya, right? The last line of defense is Dahaya. He's still a part of our team. He's still part of Manchester United. So you cannot take anything away from those saves. Yes, there were, I think, at one point before the goal, there was a statistic that showed there were 6 chances created by Leicester, and ours was only 2. And they had 3 on goal, and we had none. So I think that is the moment I saw, oh my God, actually we are keeping the possession, but they are playing the better football. And it was visible. It was quite visible. So yes, I would partially agree that it was against the run of play, but playing an offside trap against Marcus Rashford and Bruno on the ball is a suicide mission. I mean, you just cannot do that. Bruno's pass was brilliant, and like the timing was also perfect. I think goalkeeper and Rashford both glanced at Garnacho and Suter, who was covering him. That might be Suter would go there, reach him. Garnacho, if he squared it, and Danny Ward came forward to dismantle Rashford. But the form he is on, he is not missing that. I mean, if he scores a goal at a zero angle against Barcelona at Nou Camp, he surely is not gonna miss it at Old Trafford against Danny Ward. So it was a. I mean, Rashford did look up. I mean, he saw that Garnacho was on, but he is in his confidence streak. I have never seen confidence do such a boost to a player. He's Ten Hag's person. He's Ten Hag's face of the team right now. Ten Hag, when he came in, he said the same thing, and you can see the confidence that Ten Hag is putting in him, and that is just giving rewards on the pitch. And I mean, look at Sancho, the confidence he has in the game. Like Ten Hag is a brilliant man manager, and I put a status yesterday that look at the biggest liar we have of 2023 because he said a coach can't do miracles. I mean, he is a freaking liar when he says that thing. That in his a collared T-shirt sitting at Old Trafford and saying a coach can't do miracles. I mean, come on, एक ही दिल ने कितनी बार जीतेगा? So it was like that. So I
I
think it
think,
was a brilliant.
yeah, I think in another press conference he also said that I am not Harry Potter also. So that's 2 times he's lied to us,
Yeah, that is,
and
he's jinxing his magical powers.
and for once we're happy that a manager has been lying to us, because of the way that he's done things
Absolutely.
around. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So exactly. Yeah. And also, you said that he did look up. Like in the words of the great alternative MUFC, you don't become a goat by squaring it up to your teammates. You become a goat by becoming a selfish and clinical C
Look
word.
at
I
Shaw
think you know
Yusuf,
what
yo.
that means. South Manchester Mbappe, and also there was an
Marcus
and that Marcus
MB
MB
Pele.
Pele. Yes, yes. So coming to the second goal, Abhijit bhai. So the
Hi
second half,
Moinak, just wanted hi Moinak, welcome to the stream.
oh, so even you know Moinak. Okay, even I'm very familiar with Moinak. He's a good friend of mine. Hi Moinak, welcome to the stream. And yes, of course, Eric Ten Hag is on a different level altogether. And it seems that he's growing on from strength to strength. He has the backing of the crowd. He has the backing of the players because there was this one sequence where you see where Rashford scored the first goal. Eric Ten Hag immediately called on Diogo Dalot and shared some tactical instructions. And it seemed like Dalot was also putting his 2 cents
Dalo
about
should have
what exactly
scored.
was going on. Yeah, he should have. But then I think in his mind, what was going to that, okay, I'll score with my right. And then in the last moment, he thought, like, oh, I actually should have used my left. It would have been better. But still, it wasn't. It was still a much better miss than that Norwegian frauds did against Man City. Against Nottingham Forest, it was just better than that, though. Let me just say. So, I mean, that conversation that happened between Ten Hag and Dalot, if this was any other manager at any other stage of a United managerial career, you would see the player listen to it, but then do his own thing at the pitch. That was how the scenario was in United. So that's how it is. So Abhijit bhai, let's talk about the second goal. So while the second half started pretty balanced, the gaps were pretty open for Leicester, and that's where Ten Hag's change came into the fore by putting in Weghorst at the actual number 9 position and playing in Sancho at the 10 while sacrificing Garnacho for the 45 after the 45. There were a lot of spaces which could use. And my first question to you, be very honest, on first look, did you think that the Marcus Rashford goal was offside? Because when he did score, on first look, it genuinely looked like the goal was offside. I'll be very honest here. It looked offside to me. I'm surprised that was given on. Pleasantly surprised, I must say. But did you think that the goal was offside?
For a change.
Yes.
Pleasantly surprised by VAR.
Yeah. So yeah, what were your thoughts on the second goal? Because the move was brilliant. Fred's pass was actually immaculate for once. Thank goodness for that. That's the second assist in 3 days that he's provided to Marcus Rashford. Let's not forget that as well. But do you once again in brilliant counter pressing on the second goal as well? All 3 goals were classic examples of how to counter press an opponent and how to make your transition movements count. So yeah, Vijay bhai, put the floor to you about the second goal. So first question of the second goal, was it offside on first looks? And second was how that tactical change made sure that United had the ascendancy in the second half when it started.
Yes, it did look like it was an offside. I was not even celebrating for that goal, but after a few snaps that he showed that there is a chance. Rashford pointed to that there is a chance. He pointed that there is a chance, but he was not unsure. But I was very very I was in very my heart were pumping when they were not drawing the line actually when the VR was not drawing line. That Liam Mason's mistake, I was reminding of that. Bhai ye kuch to karega, matlab, I was still why are not they drawing line? They 2 times zoomed in and but they did not draw the line. The 2 time again zoomed in, they didn't draw the line. And Jim Beglin was thinking that was saying that Faiz has done a tactical defense line error before the first goal. Now he can do second time also, and he was pretty sure that he can do something. And they were commentator were pointing out that there could be an error. But when they drawed the line and when I saw that his elbow was on the onside, wow, that was the celebration. I was it was on the 7-9 on the high. And that goal, why did it came? Because Wout Weghorst was stretching. I think he was. Sutar. I think Sutar.
Yeah, he made the decoy. He made the decoy. It was Harry Sutar. He made the decoy run to draw Sutar in. Yes.
Yes, he's. Sutar thought that it was for Weghorst, but Marcus Rashford, started to run there, and the way he took that goal, amazing. Fred's and it was
you also have to talk about the finish.
Huh. Yes, definitely. That is what I said. They thought it was the pass for Weghorst, and they were slow in that attack. They didn't imagine that Rashford could take the ball and hit the goal. But this is the goals or first or second that we change the shape, we change the tactics, and it really took that reap us that fruits what we have bared in the land. This tactical masterclass from Tenak, wow, wow, you can't imagine.
Yeah, exactly. He scored 16 goals since the start of the World Cup break. That's more than Chelsea.
He is second after Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is 23. He is 22.
But
so only one goal we needed.
He's currently scored 24 for the season, Abhijit bhai.
Yes, I know, but after World Cup, I'm saying. I think
he scored 16. 22 goal involvements, but 16 goals. He scored 16.
Yes, I could be yes, I could be that, but after Lionel Messi, I think
Haaland is at 10 or something like that.
Haaland is 9.
21.
No, after
overall I'm asking.
I'm talking only goals. So it's Rashford at 16,
Uh-huh.
Benzema on 10,
Hmm.
Haaland, Osimhen, and I think there's another striker who's
Why?
on nine goals
Kvaratskhelia?
after the World Cup. No, no, it's not Kvaratskhelia. No, it's a striker. It's a striker. I don't know the name, but it's Rashford, Benzema, Haaland, Osimhen, and then there's another one. It's Ben Yedder. Sorry, yep, it's Ben
Okay,
Yedder.
I could be.
Ben Yedder, yeah.
Yes.
So that's it. So Sandeep Bhai, talking about the third goal, why it like see for the third goal, like I was just going to say, Moinak says it on the comment. Vegos dragged both Sutar and Fast for the third goal. So Vegos is turning out to be that player who, while is not able to take his chances as of now, he's getting into those positions where our runners are able to do maximum damage. As you could see in the third goal, he ran into the left channel while Rashford had the ball, and that automatically created such a massive space for Sancho to run into. And then what followed after that was just beautiful one touch, precise pinpoint passing, and I mean, it's goals like these that makes you wonder what if this manager gets a fully fit 11. I'm not even talking about the coming summer. I'm not even talking about the coming summer. What if this man gets his
You're
key
talking about
players?
Anthony Martial.
I'm talking about all the players who've been missing games. Anthony, for
Yeah.
example, is obviously going to be his first choice at the right wing if and when he's
Yes.
fit. Then I'm talking about Anthony Martial. All these players, these are key bearings. Even Casemiro, who was there in the stands, who was sitting at the substitutes bench, was suspended. All these players, if he gets his 11 for the remainder of the season also. I mean, I'd go to almost all the churches in Mumbai to give my thanks if Anthony Martial is fit for even 5 games at a
Just
stretch.
Liverpool. We need him against Liverpool. Let him score 2 goals, go back to the surgery table. Just
No,
score
no, no,
two
no, no,
goals at
no,
Anfield.
no. I do not want another injury, bro. Please, sorry, I
Just
cannot do that. But what beautiful football. I mean, what beautiful football. And that goal was a sign, and all our key players were rested, which was something that we wanted. We wanted this game to be put to bed as quickly as possible. So all our key players get that rest and are well freshened up for that Barca game on Thursday. What are your thoughts on the third goal and that interchange, that build up? That fluidity which was on display. I mean, that's peak Ten Hag ball.
So actually, I don't remember exactly whether it was for the goal or whether it was for the another part. I saw Weghorst coming, and I think he missed a chance on goal. He came back to the left wing and he put in a tackle from the behind to the right back. I mean, that is just immense work rate. I was really impressed with him. And about Weghorst taking his chances, see, he is a player from Burnley who had his trade in Wolfsburg and Besiktas and everywhere. So you would not expect him to be Ronaldo's or Cavani's replacement in front of goal. But the amount of work rate he puts in, that is brilliant. I mean, you put in Anthony Martial in that, you get maybe what he does of 70% of what he does for counter pressing and the finishing as a number 9 you have. With Martial, he is the perfect number 9 in Ten Hag system. But when Martial is unavailable, I think Weghorst is putting in a real shift. He was unlucky yesterday. I think he was unlucky to not get his goal yesterday. I think the one-on-one with Danny Ward, he should have scored that. And talking about the third goal, I mean, it was his pressing that I think started the move for Rashford to pass to Sancho, to Bruno, to Sancho with the left foot finish. That was just as Mojo sir says that it was a hot knife through butter. It was brilliantly taken. It was such a team goal. And you could see Ten Hag praising it after the match in his post-match conference also, that that was a team goal. That was brilliantly built. It was not individual brilliance. It was counter pressing. It was tactical. It was one-touch passing. And it was all in all, we were in awe of the team which we saw, and the supporters cried that you are not fit to wear the shirt last season. I mean, he has brought in such an immense mentality change in the dressing room. It was beautiful. And Ten Hag has, see, it is not just Ten Hag magic, it has been the players also. because on the field, Ten Hag is not doing anything, but off the field, the work he's doing, I think it's going a bit underappreciated because the performances we see on the field are part of the immense training and immense guidance by Ten Hag. So it was brilliant, I think, and the third goal is nothing like we could write a poem about it. It was brilliant to from Sancho to Bruno to Sancho to the goal, and it was just I was just out of words seeing that third goal. And
No,
brilliant
uh,
what was brilliant that we got it in the 68th minute, as you rightly said, and all our key players got rested. I wish Bruno got a bit of rest before Barcelona, but he is our captain. Fantastic.
people criticizing Vegas, not scoring goal, but people are not, seeing that off the ball activity. Vegas is so much,
Exactly,
he's
exactly.
contributing.
Yes.
He
Again,
he was
yeah,
the best player in
yes,
last yesterday's
yes,
game. He was the best player,
yes,
and he best played game in the United shirt.
Absolutely.
He
yeah.
Shayan bhai, welcome
Yes,
to the stream,
yes.
by the way.
Yes,
huh,
years where I'll play devil's advocate. I'm sorry that in such a good performance, in such a very good performance, I have to play devil's advocate as far as Weghorst is concerned. But here is what my 2 cents about this situation is. Weghorst is a brilliant influence when it's off the ball work. No one's denying that. I think even the staunchest of United fans who did not want Weghorst playing in the club at the first place, and there are some. Don't get me wrong, there are some will acknowledge his tremendous work rate that he puts in the pressing intensity, in winning those balls, and that was on display throughout the course of the 90 minutes that he played. But for those who say that Weghorst is a striker who does not score goals, only need to go ahead and look at his Bundesliga record for Wolfsburg. The guy has 59 goals in 118 appearances. If you break that to the barest minimum, that's a goal every 2 games. So it's not like Weghorst doesn't score or does not have the ability to score. In fact, throughout the time that he was in Bundesliga, only one striker overshadowed him in terms of goals scored, and we all know who that was. So I mean, it's not a bad stretch that only one person is outscoring you throughout your stay in the Bundesliga, and so that is what I mean. Like Sion says, that Vegas has to take his chances sooner than later. Even I believe that the goals will come, but the chances that he's missing, let's take, like you said, this goal had to be scored. Similar to the one that he had against Barca as well. He was one on one with the keeper. He just was late by 1 second. He waited for the second bounce, and that chance went to the drain. He had to take that shot on the first bounce. He did not have to wait for the second one. These are the chances that Vegas has to take, and he has to score. The moment he scores these, he is going to make a massive difference. He is still making a massive difference for us. Don't get me wrong. I am a fan of his work rate. We've not had a striker who does this dirty work for us for a very, very long time. Even the likes of wan-bissaka, who scored for us, did not do this much of work rate that
I
Weghorst
think
is being
last was
doing for
Wayne
us.
Rooney. If I
Yeah, even he was playing in
and he was
practically
playing
every possession.
CAM. Yeah, exactly. Second
Exactly.
striker,
Yes. So
CAM.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about a player who's an out and out striker who's doing the dirty work for us. Vegas knows his job. Ten Hag knows Vegas' strengths and weaknesses, and that is how he's using him to his fullest. I hope that Vegas takes his chances at Barcelona if he gets them on Thursday, because he's gonna get his goals. That's for sure. He's definitely going to get his goals. But my only problem is that Vegas has to start scoring sooner rather than later. If he Because there will come a point, because you could see the anguish on Vegas' face after the 90 minutes were over that he did not get a goal, and thankfully by that point in time the game was very well under our control, where
mm,
every single one was trying to make sure that Vegas scores.
yes,
Everyone was
You
trying
could
to give
see
him the
everyone
ball.
was trying to feed him.
Precisely. And I did not see this for a long time. Like, we used to do this for Ronaldo, but that was not because we wanted Ronaldo to score, because all those players genuinely only felt like, okay, we have to give it to Ronaldo because he's Ronaldo. That's how it is. Whereas over
That's
here,
up for debate.
I, anyone can come up to me. I do not give two flying downs. He's no longer in our club anyway, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's the least of
Let's
my
move on.
worries. Yeah. So everyone genuinely wanted Vegas to score, and the anguish on his face was palpable. So that shows that he wanted to score desperately. and I think he will get his goal. That is what I feel. Although he needs to get taking his chances. So Sion says that Lindelof was brilliant yesterday too. Now let me put my flowers to Lindelof. I'll be the first one to admit that
Absolutely.
I've always had question marks regarding Lindelof's ability as far as his physicality and his aggression was concerned. There was a lot of there were a lot of instances during his stay at the club where Lindelof was easily overpowered by strikers. Half his size, but he was easily overpowered. The biggest example was he getting turned inside out by Jordan Ayew. Jordan Ayew out of all the strikers.
I think there was
All right.
one match against West Ham where Antonio did him dirty. I think there was that one match.
But then again, Antonio is a physical specimen. For
Yeah.
all intents and purposes, that is Antonio's job basically. He
Yeah.
would give a tough time to some of the Premier League most physical defenders also.
Absolutely.
So that's a different point of fish altogether. But you're comparing Mikael Antonio to Jordan Ayew. That's a little unfair.
I
That is
just
what
remembered
yeah.
Lindelof getting turned. Yeah.
Exactly. But yesterday, you could literally see the mean streak. And I'm talking about the mean streak like how Licha puts his tackles in. Full blooded, no remorse, absolute strength. He literally outmuscled Iheanacho, who is one of those strikers who has that rare blend of pace and physicality. Okay? Don't get me wrong, Iheanacho is a proper specimen. And
Iheanacho is very
yes,
good.
exactly. And out muscling a striker of that quality, he's absolutely got stuck into all those tackles. And he's won almost all of them. His timing on those tackles were precise.
And there was
His
one interception he did. You remember or not?
yeah,
I don't know.
yes.
He one interception that was he was through on goal, whoever it was at the receiving end, but
Yes, correct.
intercepted that pass brilliantly. That would have been a
Yes.
brilliant comeback by Leicester.
Yeah, exactly. So, Abhijit bhai, what are your thoughts about Lindelof's performance? I mean, there are a lot of people who have been praising him. I put out a tweet also regarding Lindelof's performance yesterday. So, what are your thoughts on Lindelof's performance in particular?
I think Lindelof's performance was the best performance, one of the best performance of the season. He was the best deputy for Rafael Varane, and those tackles, those duels, everything he was giving, it was spot on the first half. It was he was getting tackled, take ons on Madison and Tete, but sorry, Tete on Javi Barnes, but he was little the shape was not good, so that the he was it was looking like a sloppy, even though he was not at that mark. But after we changed the shape or the tactics, after we changed everything, the performance started to come, and the way he performed yesterday, that he didn't felt the Rafael Varane's presence on the pitch. The way Varane does in the defense, he is calm, composure. He knows where to pass the ball. That gap was filled by Lindelof yesterday, and he was really spot on, and he gave a good partnership with Martinez, and even for the wan-bissaka, even for the Dalot was little sloppy in the first half, but he covered up those gaps very well, and have that was required. But after the second half, the way they all united together, the defense, it was unbreakable, and it created one type of a wall for United and Leicester, where shambles. They didn't know what to do, and the attack
Precisely.
stopped. The attack
Absolutely,
stopped.
absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, because up after a certain point, they kept themselves so open. They're already given up after the third goal. You could literally see their body language go to the drains. Like you cannot recover from a goal like that, the third goal that we scored. And it was palpable. So there is a lot of activity on our comment section. Everyone have been putting their flowers to almost
We
all
could
the
have won
players.
5-0 actually. We could have
I mean,
been
it's
given them a thrashing.
we could have, but then again, scoring three, keeping a clean sheet. I think as well as
I think Ten Hag gave the substitutes and he put the he
exactly.
lifted the pedal of the gas.
Yeah, because he did want to, make sure that everyone is fresh. Because the players like Licha or Bruno, who do not believe in the notion of idea of taking a rest, for example, these players will obviously give their 100% in whatever fixture it is, no matter even if it is a dead rubber. So you cannot exactly put a lid on the passion or the determination of these players also. So then, up to a certain point, understandable, but then you cannot complain about the result or the way we achieved it also. So let's get on to the comment section. Mojo believes that Vegas' place is a little worry in the Premier League. Yes, there have been instances where there are where there's Vegas and the opposition players running, and you can literally see when Vegas is absolutely sprinting for his life, the other player is literally jogging. So that's the amount of disparity in the pace between these players. So Gaurav Katara GKY also says that ETH Ten Hag criticized the performance in the first half. Yes, he called it rubbish. He did not mince words about how bad we were in the first half. Moses Sir also putting his flowers to Lindelof, saying that there was a reason why Lindelof was called Iceman. He was playing next to a fridge. Oh, that's actually a nice take. The moment he starts playing next to the butcher, he becomes a butcher of sorts himself. Pretty well put actually, Mojo sir. But maybe they call him the Iceman because he's also from Sweden. Who knows? Maybe that could be another reason why. So Shaunak
Now
says that
He's got the Maverick to his Iceman.
The Nordic man has finally come out. The Viking is out finally. And it's been long since we've seen the Viking, and there it is. So Shaunak says Martinez is the captain of our defense, which we missed for so long. Every time we slowed down, he picked us up. Yes, absolutely. His ability to pick out a pass is also very exemplary. His switches of play, he's always looking to put those line breaking passes, which is not visible by many of our defenders who played there. So DDG was.
Shaunak Nath's one comment was that about how does Sabitzer fall in 10x plans.
Yeah.
He's tailor made. He's tailor made for, and also, if I may
I
say,
can't wait.
Sabitzer.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sabitzer looks like a player who wants to stay here. His
Yes.
performances
Exactly.
have.
Absolutely. He will
I will
stay
His
here.
performances, yes. No, even he's putting in performance of such caliber that looks like a player who wants to be here. That looks like a player who wants to play for more than just the 6 months.
Exactly.
He is endless running. He knows when to expend his energy. He knows when to use it, and he knows how to reconsider that. So it's
Delvin,
pretty.
just imagine he's now playing with Fred. Next match, Barcelona at Old Trafford is playing with Casemiro, and he
I'm
unlocks his
eagerly,
attacking potential.
I'm
I
eagerly
mean,
waiting.
we will get a Paul Scholes-like screamer against Barcelona, which he's
I'm
so
e-
used to scoring.
I'm eagerly waiting for that. But then I just want to be very, very cautiously optimistic, because it's going to
Hold
be a
your big
big game for.
horses.
Yes. We just need to be out and about with our optimism. So I just want to calm down and be.
Just
Yeah,
one point, Dylan by.
yeah.
If yes, he Bayern want only just 20 million, and he is a sensible
It's not a
transfer.
bad price. It's not a bad
Okay,
price at
we are
all.
not done. We are not
Habibi,
done a sensible.
bro,
We are not
Habibi.
done. Yes, we are not done a sensible transfer since a decade.
Uh,
Last time,
last
I don't know.
window,
Last transfer
last
season was
window,
quite good.
We
last
didn't
window was
know.
good.
But only Ericsson and I think even Licha was the sensible transport, given the fact that what he is performing now.
Not Casemiro.
Yes, yes. No, but he has come at 70 million. Okay, we say that, but okay, he's
It's
World
still a
Cup winner. But
sensible transfer,
He
no?
has earned his
okay,
worth in gold. He has
yes,
earned
but
his weight in worth
no,
of
no.
gold.
At a bargain price. I'm saying at a bargain price. At a bargain price, 20 million. What do you want? And the player himself wants to stay at, and even Bayern want to offload that player because they have the Konrad Leimer is coming in the next season. So at a 20 million, it is upgrade for Ericsson. Even if
Yep.
you rotate a player, Ericsson and Sabitzer, you can take out of it. We don't
Yeah,
even need
correctly.
Bellingham or even we don't need FDJ.
No,
Okay,
we would
we
still
good to go.
need. No, 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 no. So
We would need
we would
a
need.
Okay,
signing.
I will say that we need a DM because Casemiro can play all
Yeah.
40
We
games or
need a
50 games.
We also
We
need
need
a
a
we need a
DM.
big
DM.
though. we need an
Yes,
eight also, because
yes,
Sabitzer's profile is not exactly that of an eight. He's a midfielder who can do a little bit of everything. He can attack, he can defend, he can
Exactly.
recycle possession. While such
he,
players are useful additions to
He's
squad,
kind
I'm
of the
not denying.
Lord Makelele.
I'm, no,
yes,
he's like Daily Blind. He's like Daily Blind
That is, Delhi
with
Blind could
physicality,
play anywhere. Delhi Blind could
with
play anywhere.
physicality. So
yes,
that is Sabitzer in midfield. That
Yeah,
is Sabitzer's
exactly.
profile in midfield.
yes,
He can do a little bit of everything in every position, but the fact still remains that we do need a number eight.
yes.
That is the
Yes,
fact of the
Yes,
matter.
that is true.
on the basis of Bruno Fernandes, because Bruno Fernandes
Yes,
is playing all the
correct.
games for
All the
Tegan.
way on the right,
Yes,
yes. So
yes.
Mojo
So
sir says you could sign Sabitzer and sell McTominay, and the next spend would be zero. So actually, I would rather believe Mojo sir that the next spend would
Fred.
actually be in positive. No, no, no. I'm talking about this
Acha.
transaction
Okay.
basically, because
Okay.
Newcastle and West Ham are very interested in getting McTominay in the summer.
The
Newcastle even
dividend.
put in a bid. Yes, exactly. Newcastle even put in a bid of around, I think, 25 to 30 million in Jan. But then I think because of the fact that we did need squad depth up to a certain level, we did not let McTominay go. But I think in the summer there's a genuine possibility that McTominay leaves, and we would get a pretty handsome price for him, and we can use that exact same money to go ahead and purchase Sabitzer on a
You
permanent
know,
deal.
Delvin, one point you made, I think that you were saying that Sabitzer is neither a 6 nor a 8 nor a 10. He is a mixture. We could actually get one of those players like Gaurav says Caicedo. I mean, he can do the role of an 8 and a 6, right?
Caicedo is
He
an
could,
eight. Caicedo is actually an eight
but
because
he could do a job at number 6 also, I think, with his
he could,
physicality and
yes,
everything.
he could. No, there's no doubt about that. He could, but then his
I think the
quality.
signings like Bellingham, Frankie De Jong, or Caicedo, I think they could do a job there.
So Gaurav has put in some pretty good names. So Caicedo is one. His gifts are such that you can use him as an eight,
Ah,
predominantly as an eight. Even if he can do
absolutely.
a job at six,
Hmm,
his physical gifts are such. He's much more refined on the ball than Casemiro also,
absolutely.
which can easily let him do a job at six. Another name which Gaurav has put in is very interesting is actually Zubimendi from
Zubimendi, yeah,
Sociedad.
absolutely,
From Sociedad.
absolutely.
He's also another one who we can look forward to. But then that's looking at that's looking at the summer. For now, the summer is the least of our worries. The least of the worries is the games that is coming ahead. And also another point of talking is the impending takeover bids that have been coming out. So
Just one
Abhijit
minute.
bhai, I'm going
Just
to
1 minute.
yeah, yeah,
1 minute.
yeah, yeah.
I want to put a flowers on one player, Wan-Bissaka, your favorite player. By yesterday,
डेल्विन
I
भाई
saw
आप भूल गए.
No,
you left
so
out it.
no,
I was
it's
interrupting you so many
I
times when you talked. I was seeing when you. I was waiting for
डेल्विन
you
भाई आप भूल
because
गए.
because
My boy
yesterday we
Aaron.
saw the tiki taka football from Sancho and Van Bissaka.
I mean,
They
even the commentator
literally.
said they are preparing for Barcelona.
My God,
I thought
when
Daniel का आत्मा ही
when
आ गया क्या भाई ऐसा हो गया था.
when that sequence happened of around 25 to 30 seconds where Sancho and Aaron were playing key ball, there was only one song playing to my mind. Eh, para tu bailar. Oh my God, it was so bloody amazing. Looking
No,
at
no.
them, it was absolute. Oh my God, I
You know,
cannot tell you how happy I was.
even in the when he came as a substitute and played, he was brilliant. He was really
If
brilliant.
there are people who are suspecting Wan-Bissaka's quality on the ball, just look at that instance. Aaron Wan-Bissaka of the 1920, 2021 and 21-22 season would not even dare to attempt that. Would not even dare to attempt it. Let
He
alone
put one
think of it.
like this, one flick,
There
I
was a
think, and he
there was a
lifted flick.
backward flick. There was
Yes,
exactly. I mean, what has happened to my boy?
out of the box.
My boy is just elevating from strength to strength.
You know,
The
so this
spiral.
is what we see we have been missing for so many years, a
Exactly.
coaching manager. A
Yes.
manager who can coach. I mean, Ten Hag is just he's a godsend for us, like right now. And taking this team who were lucky to finish sixth last season, thanks to I think it was someone beat West Ham, and it was so brilliant. He's just doing such a brilliant job. Like, and
Who were
also
that?
one more thing, did you notice? when Dallo moved to left back, even there he was performing really well.
Yes.
Luke Shaw needed a rest. And when Dallo moved to left back, he was performing really well. That is
There
what
was
Ten
there
Hag
is
has
a s-
brought out in the
there
player.
there is a slight concern about Luke Shaw though. So I did see that he was heavily strapped. He was walking on his own power, but then his leg
I
was
think it's
heavily
just
strapped. So
cautionary.
hopefully, yeah, as hopefully it's nothing serious and it's just a precaution. But then I just hope that nothing's bad and nothing's gone wrong because he did get up a little gingerly after that tackle which happened later on in the
True, true,
second
true.
half. So there is a little cause for concern, although I hope that it's just secondary and it's just precautionary measure. So
Yeah.
so coming back to the takeover bid, so now we do know that Jim Ratcliffe and Qatar have officially made their bids and they have put their names in the ring. But what has come out today, around today evening, I guess, is that the Wall Street Journal have come out and said that there are two more bids which have come in public, and there are multiple private bids that have been coming for Manchester United. So, Abhijit bhai, let's talk about some of the bids, the bids especially that we know about or we have a little bit of information about. So let's start with the Jim Ratcliffe bid. So Jim Ratcliffe's bid is basically 69% of the club. That's majority ownership, which means that there will be the Glazers will be there in some capacity. Now, first of all, with the scenario of Jim Ratcliffe's bid is that he will be tying up with a certain bank or a certain industrial agency which will lend him that much and then come out and make sure that he's upholding the Manchester in Manchester United. What are your thoughts about the Jim Ratcliffe bid first? What are your thoughts about the 69% ownership bid? And do you think that a lot of people saying that Jim Ratcliffe is the one? Do you think that Jim Ratcliffe is actually the one to be the custodian of a club as big and as grand as Manchester United?
So I just want to clear out, if for our audience don't know, that 60 there are two types of shares for Manchester United. One is the type B, which has the veto of has the voting power of Manchester United to control the whole power. Okay, and list A shares are publicly, as we are listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So the Sir Jim Ratcliffe and even Qatar have bidded for that 69% of only Sir Jim Ratcliffe has bidded for 69% of shares that has the power. Okay. uh, looking at looking at that, whatever the statements have been of SJRs, it looks like they don't they are only want to take the custody. They want to put something called want their Manchester United back, and they want to uh, invest in the women's team and even the first team, but they don't want to clear the debts. There will be no new debt, just like what Glazer did in 2005, on the basis of they took a loan, and they buy the Manchester United. That will be not happening. He will be back, but there will be no debt, but the debt will be not clear. Okay. Looking at the SGR, why people are supporting from him is because he is the Manchester United lifelong fan. Okay, he has that one type of sympathy that he has. Okay, he is a boyhood fan, but on the same part, some people are also criticizing him because he has something in case on a tax fraud. That is okay. That he will pay fine and he will be buried. Okay, but second criticism is because he tried to buy Chelsea, and he is also a season ticket holder of Chelsea.
A Man
Okay.
United fan with a Chelsea season ticket.
Yes, definitely. So it takes a criticism that how
Wouldn't
much
even
it
buy
is.
a knockoff shirt of Chelsea, man. Come on. Season ticket.
Yes.
And like Mojo sir also says, Sir Jim cannot be a long-term solution, and he's
Yes.
only been driven by the English media, which is typical of
Third,
You
them.
know,
third
to,
point I would
to
say, Delvin, by
Yeah,
people
yeah,
also
yeah. Okay, okay.
people also on the sarcastically, they are saying he's too old as owner. He's a 72 or something. So
See,
how many
age
days
does
how many
age
days he
does
will
not
survive?
really matter, and
Uh-huh.
I
No,
see
mean,
that
age
but
is
does
that
listen,
not
is
no,
really
I'm saying it
matter.
in a
that is not the
sarcastic note. Not I am not criticizing him in
Berlusconi
on a
is
serious note.
Monza's owner is somewhere close to 90, Abhijit bhai.
Yes.
So
No, I'm just
Who?
saying sarcastically.
What owner?
Monza,
Monza,
the team in
Monza. Okay.
Syria, Monza.
Yeah. No, no.
Berlus-
Okay. Yeah.
Berlusconi is their owner, and he's almost, I guess, he's touching close to 90 years old now.
There
Yeah.
was this also rumor of Zara, I think, bidding. That person is also so old. Ortega,
Yeah. So yeah,
Amanto.
I know it's meant sarcastically, Avijit Bhai, that you're talking about him being
Yes.
old as an owner, but then it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's the outlook of what people believe or do not believe.
Yeah.
So Sandeep, by talking about the agenda that is driven by the English media for Sir Jim Ratcliffe being, there have been a lot of articles which have been putting the Qatar bid in shade. So, for example, it's first of all starting from our supporters trust, uh, where they've spoken about LGBTQ rights or whatever the concerns for that, but they did not say anything about a Jim Ratcliffe bid, which was only 69% of the club and not 100% of the club. First, second, there are multiple articles by Laurie Whitwell, Miguel Delaney, literally bashing out left and right about Qatari ownership. Where are these guys' moral compasses when they go to a Harrods or when they go to a Claridge's or a Sainsbury's or a Tesco's and tell that, okay, this is Qatari owned, I do not want to buy it. So I mean, do you think that this this woke culture, does it have enough say as people make it out to be? I know it is a pretty controversial topic, and a lot of people
I
have
understand.
raised
Yeah.
a lot of questions about the Qatari ownership model or whatever it is. But what are your thoughts on all of these English media, English sources, a lot of these people talking about why Radcliffe's bid is the one that the club should have accept and not the Qatari one? Do you think there is something more than just classic Western pride, or is this just more than just that?
That pride word was interesting. Anyway, uh, so uh, uh, so one thing I would say is that Qatar owning Manchester United, they will not be coming in like certain people and changing the way you live or oppress you.
Yes.
They will not come to England or Manchester and say that people of Manchester cannot be part of the LGBTQ community. It's the religious law in their country. Persecution of people is a different topic, but it's the law. In some country, maybe murder is legal, but I mean that is not woke in our place, right? Someone's woke is someone's illegal things. See, it's a very controversial topic and it's a very sensitive topic, let's say, to be be on side of any one part of it. But what I am not on side with the thing is the English press. You'll
Yeah,
worshipping Sir Jim Ratcliffe and
yeah,
they have used the word a British bid. I mean that what is a British bid? That is
yeah.
just
So
not.
I
Huh.
I must have not, I might have not phrased my question correctly. So I'll just phrase my question a little proper. What are your thoughts on the English media and these English
Yeah.
pundits or whatever so-called analyst is? What are your thoughts on them putting shade on the Qatari bill for whatever reasons it is? Let's not get into those reasons. You
Exactly.
know the
Yeah.
reasons. You know the reasons. I know the reasons. What are your thoughts on them putting shade on the Qatari bid just because it's Qatari? And
Yeah.
why is there the need for putting so much of pressure on United being owned by a British? There was no outcry when City was bought by a Middle Eastern outlet. There was no outcry when Newcastle was bought by a Saudi outlet. So
Exactly.
why is there this furor? Why is there this outcry? Why is there this outrage on
You know.
United being? And also, before I say this, I don't know how true is this, but there are a lot of reports doing the rounds that FSG has officially announced that Liverpool is not for sale. So this is big
When
news
did
which
that
has come
happen?
out just few minutes ago. Just a few minutes ago. I don't know how true it is. I do not know how true this is, but there have been reports circulating around that FSG has openly declared that Liverpool is no longer up for sale. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what it is about
Checking it
Liverpool.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Sandeep, back to the question. Your
Yeah.
thoughts on this perpetual outcry on United being owned by the British, so called? Yeah,
United. United are such a huge sleeping giant that if we are owned by Qatar, PSG will be our feeder club, let's say. Okay, PSG will be our feeder club kind of thing will happen. Because see, United have the fan base, United have the laurels, United have the history, United have the commercial value, United have everything that is required to make a business successful. And if you have owners with such deep pockets, there's going to be nothing stopping us. I hope we do not follow the Galactico model of PSG or Real Madrid of 2005. But I think with the right director of football and the CEO and Eric Ten Hag at the helm, we will be a footballing giant and a commercial giant. I think 700 million is the reported figure of the fan following of Manchester United. I mean, Manchester City are like 1% of it. Newcastle have a fan base, but it's not as good or as big. PSG don't have it. The League One hardly anyone watches. So the prime, let's say, real estate kind of a thing to buy is Manchester United because we have everything else that is needed for being the biggest club in the world, and with Qatari ownership that will happen. Now, where the English press is coming in is moral values and everything. We let's not go into the controversial topics, but I don't understand what is this cry, hue and cry that Sir Jim has to own it and Qataris cannot come in. I simply don't understand the logic because that I think it's part jealousy. Because see, when we criticize Manchester City, when we criticize them, there is a hint of jealousy. We all can agree. There is a hint of jealousy. There is a hint of bitterness and sour grapes kind of a thing. That if we, no one will tell us. See, I will say Manchester United are the only club that deserve Qatari owners. We have everything that goes with the what we will achieve once they come in. We have the history, we have the fan base, we have everyone would acknowledge that Manchester United on top is a okay thing because we were on top for so many years. Manchester City are an anomaly. They have just been established in 2009. They have not been established before that. We have been established way before, and Sir Alex Ferguson has took us to the top, taken us to the top, and we have fallen from there just because of these parasites. Sir Glazers did in spite of them. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Sir Alex Ferguson did in spite of the Glazers. So I think that I am totally for Qatari ownership, and this I would make it controversial by saying this, but I think this xenophobic view of the English press is not something to be appreciated at all. I mean, I just made a banter comment on one of Man City's MCFC lads or something that Twitter holder account is there. I was racially abused. I was told that you don't know anything about football because I apparently haven't been to Old Trafford. I mean, how xenophobic is that? So I don't want to go there, but I think that English press should do a better work and investigate and understand what the bids are. And I think any minority stake of Blazers should not be there. That's it. Sorry for the rant.
Yeah. So Moses sir, because Moses sir, on your comment, FSG have officially withdrawn the club from the sale process. So I don't think that investor will go on because there is official report circulating around now that FSG have removed the club off sale. So they will still be owned by the FSG group. That is what the reports have been making the rounds recently so far. Uh, Abhijit Bhai, so we spoke about Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his 69% bid. We spoke about the Qatari bid and the furore that has been surrounding the Qatari bid. Another bid has come in, and this could potentially be the most devastating bid out of the three for the future, and that is the Elliott hedge fund bid. So apparently, as far as I know and I've read about it, Elliott hedge funds have promised Glazers to stay at the club in spite of them getting it. Now, for those who do not know, Elliott hedge funds were the ones who were owning Milan earlier on,
No,
until
they
initially.
just
Now it's
invested. They just invested
yeah,
in them.
exactly. So that's technically called owning only because it was their money, right?
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah. So until
Okay.
Redbird invested them, but so Elliott hedge funds had a role in Milan, and Milan's fortunes under that side were absolutely horrendous. No making two bones about it. Avijit bhai, do you think that this could be a devastating news for all the United fans involved if, in case, the Elliott hedge fund bid is accepted?
Okay. You should note the ground. What are the ground basis of this? Uh, a few days ago, we were discussing about ESL. Okay, Papa Perez and Laporta were shaking their hands, and they were I think advocating for the ESL. So this is the base, and one part of that was money. And when you see when you participate in ESL, there are funds to be distributed among the clubs, those who participating in the ESL, and I think they are providing around 500 to 1 billion amount to the clubs. Who will say no to that money? Even if that Glazer took that money, they could cash out on that amount. So it's not this this news were circulating before, even after the season started. After that Glazer protest, what were after that, they are trying to convince Apollo to invest in the Manchester United, but they failed. Even in November, there was another news that they are still thinking that there will be some investment um, in the Manchester United, but that even failed. But after that Ronaldo interview, that was clear cut that they want to sell the club. Okay, uh, Glazer staying at the club, that will strike a huge protest on Glazers. But uh, what in it's I think it they also want to buy the shares of what class B shares from their siblings, and they want to take the full power and actually give some kind of not full control but small control, so that investment could come and we can redevelop some part of Manchester United, not the full part. And even that Elite group, you want to invest only some part, because they know that ESL is inevitable. It will come in upcoming years, and it will go on. It will replace Champions League. I mark my words. It will replace Champions League. What Santiago Bernabeu did for Champions League, the same thing will happen for Papa Perez. He wants to literally stamp in his legacy after Santiago Bernabeu what did for Champions League, and now he
I
will
don't
do
think
for
the
this.
fans let it happen. I think
You know,
I
Sandeep
mean,
Bhai,
Super League for
no, no.
now.
I
For now, Super League is not exactly the
telling
topic
by
of
I
discussion that
just no, no,
we
no.
want to
Just
get
one
to.
point I will say. Who will know? 150 million, 200 million amount of money, if a small club like Nottingham Forest or even like a Burnley, if they get and they invest it in a smart way, the the competition rises. So
But
money
then,
matters. Money matters.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I agree. Money matters, but then the reason why the likes of Burnley or Nottingham Forest or even Bournemouth, for that matter, have had this much amount of money is that the Premier League has made sure that the TV rights
exactly.
money is circulated in such a way that even the teams who are or around will be around the relegation zone have an equal chance to compete.
They have
The
screwed it up in
same
the La Liga and the
Yes, the
Serie,
same
everyone.
the same thing cannot be said for the likes of La Liga or Syria. Where was this Abhijit bhai, where was this outcry when Syria was one of the best leagues in the world?
Exactly.
Where every Ballon d'Or winner was from the Syria, where the world's best players were representing Syria teams day in and day out. Where was this outcry when Spanish teams were dominating Europe? When the likes of
Exactly.
Real Madrid and
Absolutely.
Barcelona were winning trebles, were winning Champions League after Champions League. In fact, Real Madrid has handpicked some of our best players in the recent years.
Yes.
Beat
Abs.
David Beckham, beat Cristiano
Even
Ronaldo.
even people are demanding some amount of money from Premier League to La
Yes.
Liga.
So why? So
They,
this is not a Premier League problem. This
huh,
is the problem that these leagues have not taken care of the other teams and have only focused on the teams that are big. That
yes,
is not a Premier League problem. You cannot say that the Super League is a result of the Premier League being competitive. The Premier League has built a brand in such a way that all 20 teams are getting an equal chance to compete. It is not the Premier League's problem. It is not United's problem that the rest of the leagues are not able to compete. It's not that. It's not
And
our
I
problem.
think one flip side is if the Qatar is coming, they won't care about the ESL money. I don't see them, supporting
Precisely.
Perez or anyone for the ESL.
ESL. In fact, El Khalifi is the president of the ECA when all these clubs were moved
Exactly.
off. So
No,
I
I
don't.
think Qatar, I think PSG did not go into that because of the World Cup. Maybe FIFA and
sorry,
UEFA they needed to be
I
on
did
They're
side.
go
still
off.
there. Yeah.
Sorry, I
So
did go
we've.
off topic. Sorry for that.
No,
I
that's fine. That's
apologize
No, no,
for
fine.
that.
it's fine. It's
But
fine.
I
It's
just
fine.
it
That's
was the
fine.
ground base of that what Glazers thing. The Glazers were there for the ESL time, so I just
Absolutely.
pointed out they wanted that money, so that was the base for that. That
Yeah.
was the background
Mhm.
news for
Yeah.
that.
Correct.
I
Correct.
just okay, but I apologize about Qatar. Qatar. I will say that they don't want money. They already have 350 billions. Why should they will take out the
Exactly.
money?
That's what.
No
Precisely.
one they want 100% everything want Manchester United, not the 69%. People have
Correct.
to understand that
Yeah.
difference.
Precisely. So so with that, we've come to a wrap of this stream. Pretty intense at times, pretty entertaining at times as well. So Abhijit bhai, Sandeep bhai, thank you so much for being part of the stream. Thank you to all in the chat also for interacting and making this a much more interactive session compared with the others. Really appreciate you took out your time. We are coming very close to 1500 followers, guys, or subscribers. I beg your pardon. We are coming very close to 1500 subscribers on YouTube. Please, please, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We want to grow as much as we can, and it is not possible without your support. You've been there with us throughout our journey, and we would love to have you be a part of it and be a part of our ever growing journey. So please do show us your love. Do like, share, and subscribe, and keep supporting us and grow with us as well. Please follow us on Instagram. The username is down there below. Do follow us on Twitter as well. It's the same username. Do follow us on both our social media channels. We're pretty active there as well. And I say this on every stream that every day is match day on our official WhatsApp group. I'm wholly active in that group. So is Abhijit bhai and Sandeep bhai. So do not miss an opportunity to be part of that ever growing family as well. With that being said, this is Delvin along with Abhijit bhai and Sandeep bhai wishing all of you good night. Do take care of yourself, and until next time, GGMU.
GGMU.